Attention, gentlemen. Want to know how to win over a younger woman in an authentic, respectful, and charming way? You've come to the right place. In this video, we share 7 foolproof strategies to connect genuinely, build a strong relationship, and leave a lasting impression. From being true to yourself without losing your vibe, to planning epic dates that will make her smile, and managing the age gap with confidence and respect. Get ready for practical advice, real-life examples, and an ethical approach that will make you stand out. Don't miss a second. This is about to up your game. Like and subscribe. Let's get started.
1. Be authentic and confident. Show who you really are. Why it matters? Trying to be someone you're not, like adopting a style, slang, or behaviors just to fit in with the younger crowd, often comes off as fake and can erode trust. People value sincerity because it builds a foundation of trust right from the start. How to do it? Know your strengths and values. Reflect on what makes you unique. Are you passionate about your career, have a cool hobby, or bring a valuable perspective from your life experiences? Share that naturally. For example, if you love classic literature, don't shy away from mentioning it, but make it conversational. I'm a sucker for old books. They tell such human stories. What do you like to read these days? Be honest about your age and experience. Don't hide or downplay the age difference. Instead, own it positively. Try something like, I've had some wild adventures over the years. What's the craziest experience you've had? This shows you're comfortable with who you are without being fazed by the generational gap. Don't fake youth trends. If you're not up to speed on TikTok, memes, or the latest music, don't pretend to be an expert. Show curiosity instead. I've heard that band is killing it. What do you love about them? This keeps you authentic while staying open-minded. Practical example. At a coffee shop, if you want to start a conversation, skip generic or forced lines. If you notice her reading a book or scrolling on her phone, say something genuine like, "That book looks intriguing. What's it about?" This shows real interest, not a calculated move to impress. Take care of your appearance. Why it matters? First impressions count, and how you present yourself says a lot about how you value yourself. It's not about chasing youthful trends, but showing you take care of yourself and feel good in your skin, which radiates confidence. How to do it? Dress with your own style. Find a look that's modern but fits your age and personality. Think a well-fitted shirt, quality jeans, or sleek sneakers. Versatile and attractive without trying to pass as a teenager. Avoid overly formal or dated clothes if you're connecting with someone younger, but don't wear something that feels forced, like graphic tees if they're not your vibe. Impeccable personal hygiene. Keep it sharp. Clean hair, trimmed nails, fresh breath, and a subtle cologne can make a big difference. It shows you pay attention to details. Posture and body language. Confidence shines through in how you carry yourself. Stand tall. Make eye contact without staring, and smile naturally. Avoid closed-off gestures like crossing your arms, which can come across as insecure or uninterested. Practical example. Before heading out, take a moment to ensure your outfit is clean and crisp. If you're unsure what to wear, draw inspiration from public figures your age with a modern yet sophisticated style. Think actors or personalities who blend class and cool. For a casual event, dark jeans, a fitted shirt or tee, and clean sneakers are usually a safe bet. Without being arrogant. Why it matters? Confidence is attractive because it shows you're comfortable with yourself and don't need external validation. But arrogance, acting superior because of your age, experience, or achievements, can push people away, especially someone younger who might feel judged or belittled. How to do it? Speak with confidence, but stay humble. Share things about yourself without bragging. Instead of saying, "I've traveled the world because of my great job," try, Traveling's taught me a lot, like the time I got lost in a city and stumbled on an amazing cafe. Got any stories like that? Listen more than you talk. Confidence isn't about dominating the conversation. It's about showing genuine interest in her. Ask her about her passions, dreams, or experiences. What do you love to do on a free day? Tell me about it. This shows confidence in yourself and respect for her perspective. Work on your inner self-esteem. Why it matters? True confidence comes from within, not from what others think of you. If you feel insecure about the age gap or how you're perceived, it might show in your attitude. Building your self-esteem helps you project effortless confidence. How to do it? Practice self-reflection. Take time to pinpoint what makes you proud of yourself, maybe your sense of humor, problem-solving skills, or dedication to something you love. Journaling or talking with a trusted friend can help reinforce this. Invest in your growth. Learn something new, a language, hobby, or skill, to feel more fulfilled and spark conversation. For example, if she mentions dancing, you could say, "I've never been big on dancing, but I'm thinking about trying salsa. How are you with it?" Care for your mental and physical health. Exercise, meditation, or a healthy routine can boost how you feel about yourself. That positive energy is magnetic. Surround yourself with supportive people. Spend time with friends or family who lift you up. This builds a solid foundation for interacting without insecurity. Practical example. Before a meetup, remind yourself of something that makes you feel good about yourself. A recent win, a compliment you got, etc. This sets you up for a positive, relaxed vibe in the conversation. Stay consistent in your authenticity. Why it matters? Authenticity isn't something you turn on just to win someone over. It should be how you show up all the time. Pretending to be someone else at the start is exhausting and can breed distrust when your true self comes through. How to do it? Be consistent in words and actions. If you say you value honesty, show it by being transparent. If you promise something, like calling or planning an outing, follow through. Don't change to please. If her interests differ from yours, don't feel pressured to adopt them just to impress. Find balance. Share your passions and show interest in hers. Practical example. If she mentions an interest you don't share, like a music genre you're not into, don't fake enthusiasm. Instead say, "I'm not big on that style, but I'm curious why you love it. What makes it special to you?" This shows authenticity and genuine curiosity. Extra tips to nail this. Practice in everyday settings. Confidence and authenticity grow with practice. Start light conversations in daily life, at work, a cafe, with friends, to get comfortable being yourself. Mind your tone and energy. Speak with enthusiasm, but keep it chill. A calm voice and steady pace project confidence. Avoid talking too fast or sounding nervous. Handle rejection gracefully. Sometimes she might not be interested, and that's not a reflection of your worth. Confidence means knowing your value doesn't hinge on someone's approval. Adapt to the context. In a younger setting, like a concert or social event, relax and enjoy, but stay true to yourself. Don't try to dance like the younger crowd if it's not you, just have fun your way. 2. Build an emotional connection. Listen actively to understand her. Why it matters? Active listening shows genuine interest and helps you get to know her on a deeper level, which is key to building an emotional bond. Younger people often appreciate being taken seriously, especially if they feel their age might lead to their opinions being overlooked. How to do it? Ask open-ended questions. Skip yes or no questions and go for ones that encourage her to share more. For example, what's the thing you're most passionate about with her hobby, job, or studies? Or what's a moment in your life that really shaped you? Paraphrase and validate her feelings. When she shares something, show you're paying attention by reflecting what she said. For example, "Wow, it sounds like that trip meant a lot to you. How did it feel to be there?" Don't interrupt or shift the focus. Let her finish her thoughts before chiming in. If you want to relate her story to your own, do it without stealing the spotlight. For example, your passion for photography reminds me of when I tried painting. What kind of photos do you love taking? Pay attention to nonverbal cues. Notice her tone, facial expressions, and body language to gauge how she's feeling. If she's excited, match that energy. If she seems reserved, give her space to open up at her own pace. Practical example. On a date, if she mentions she loves traveling, don't just say, "That's cool." Ask, "What's the place that blew your mind the most and why?" Then listen closely and respond thoughtfully. "The way you describe that beach sounds amazing. I can almost picture it. What stood out most about that spot?" Share meaningful experiences without sounding patronizing. Why it matters? As someone older, you have life experiences that can add depth to the conversation, but you need to share them in a way that doesn't feel like you're lecturing or acting like an unsolicited mentor. The goal is to connect your stories to hers for a balanced dialogue. How to do it? Pick relevant stories. Share anecdotes that tie into what she's talking about. If she mentions a concert she loved, you could say, "That reminds me of an epic concert I went 2 years ago. The energy was unreal. How was your experience at that show?" Stay humble and relatable. Don't make your experiences sound better or more important. Instead of saying, "I've traveled to 20 countries, that's real adventure," try, "I love how travel opens your mind. Once I got lost in a city and it was wild. Ever had something like that happen?" Use your stories to inspire. If you have a story that aligns with her interests or goals, share it in a way that motivates her. For example, when I was your age, picking a career path was tough, but a trip helped me figure things out. How are you navigating those big decisions? Got any go-to tricks? Find common interests to strengthen the bond. Why it matters, shared interests are the foundation of a strong emotional connection. Even with generational differences, there's always common ground. Music, movies, hobbies, or values that can bring you closer and create memorable moments. How to do it?
Explore her interests with curiosity. Ask about what she loves and show genuine interest, even if it's new to you. For example, "I haven't seen that show you mentioned, but it sounds intriguing. What's it about, and why are you hooked?" Suggest activities you can enjoy together. Once you find common ground, propose plans tied to it. If you both like food, say, "You mentioned that Mexican restaurant you love. Want to check it out together this weekend?" Be open to trying new things. If she's into something you don't know much about, show willingness to learn. For example, "I'm not familiar with that music genre, but I'd love for you to recommend a song so I can get why you're into it." Connect through universal values. Beyond hobbies, values like family, friendship, or ambition can bridge the gap. If she talks about her family, share, "What you said about your brother reminds me of how my sister and I used to compete as kids. What's your relationship with him like?" Practical example. If you learn she loves movies, ask, "What's that one film you could watch over and over?" If she names one you like too, show your enthusiasm. "That movie's awesome. The ending always gives me chills. What's your favorite part?" Then suggest, "We could do a movie night and watch that or something else you recommend. Sound good?" Be empathetic and offer emotional support. Why it matters? Empathy makes her feel understood and valued, which deepens the emotional connection. Showing you care about her feelings creates a safe space for her to open up. How to do it? Acknowledge her emotions. If she shares something personal, validate how she feels. For example, if she's worried about an exam, say, "That sounds really stressful. I get why you'd feel that way. How's your prep going?" Offer support without overstepping. Instead of trying to fix her problems, show you're there for her. For example, if you need to vent or talk it out, I'm here. Sometimes just chatting helps, right? Be sensitive to generational differences. Younger people might face unique challenges like social media pressure or uncertainty about the future. Listen without judgment and avoid dismissive phrases like, "That's no big deal," or "You'll get it when you're older." Instead, say, I haven't been through that exactly, but it sounds tough. How are you handling it? Use humor to lighten the mood. If the conversation gets heavy, a bit of humor can keep things connected without losing depth. For example, sounds like your boss is a bit intense. Ever thought about slipping them a note saying, "Chill out," with a smile? Practical example. If you know she loves nature, plan a simple outing. I know you're into the outdoors. How about we hit that park you mentioned for a picnic? During the outing, ask deeper questions. What do you love most about being in nature? Does it bring back any special memories? Extra tips for building an emotional connection. Be patient. Emotional connections take time. Give her space to feel comfortable opening up, especially if the age gap makes her hesitant at first. Don't pressure her to open up. If she seems reserved, don't pressure her to share personal stuff. Create a relaxed vibe where she feels safe to open up when she's ready. Adapt to the context. In a casual setting, like a party, keep things light at first. On a date, dive deeper with questions about her dreams, fears, or experiences. Be mindful of age dynamics. If the age gap is significant, she might worry about what others think. Reassure her that you value her for who she is, not her age. For example, "I love talking with you because you always bring a fresh perspective."
3. Respect generational differences. Understand her world and context. Why it matters. Younger people have grown up in a different environment from yours, shaped by things like social media, cultural trends, technology, and social dynamics unique to their generation. Showing interest in her world not only demonstrates respect, but also helps you find common ground and build a more authentic connection. How to do it? Get informed about her generation. Familiarize yourself with relevant cultural aspects, like the platform she uses, TikTok, Instagram, etc., popular music, shows, or social events. You don't need to be an expert, but curiosity makes you more relatable. For example, "I've seen everyone buzzing about that Netflix series. Is it worth watching? What do you like about it?" Ask questions without judgment. If she mentions something unfamiliar, like a meme, app, or trend, inquire out of curiosity rather than criticism. Instead of saying, "I don't get why everyone's obsessed with that," try, "All right, explain what makes that app so special. I'm genuinely curious." Acknowledge tech differences. Younger generations are often more immersed in technology. If you're not as savvy with certain platforms or tools, admit it with humor. "I'll confess, I'm a bit of a dinosaur with social media, but I want to learn. What's your favorite and why?" Stay updated on cultural context. Read up on current trends or ask her directly what's in. This doesn't mean adopting everything, just being informed enough to join the conversation. Practical example. If she mentions spending a lot of time on TikTok, say, "I've heard TikTok has everything from recipes to dances. What kind of videos hook you the most?" If she shares a video or trend, ask her to show you and laugh along. "Okay, that was way more fun than I expected. I need to catch up." Avoid being condescending or assuming superiority. Why it matters. A condescending attitude, like assuming you know more because you're older or that her experiences are less valid, can make her feel belittled and damage the connection. Treating her as an equal promotes mutual respect and a balanced relationship. How to do it. Validate her opinions. Even if you disagree with her view, respect it and seek to understand. For example, if she holds an opinion that seems youthful to you, say, "That's interesting, I hadn't seen it that way. Why do you think that?" Instead of, "You'll understand when you have more experience." Steer clear of superior sounding phrases. Avoid lines like, "That's typical for your age," or "You'll get over it," which can come off as dismissive. Instead, show openness. "I love how you see things. It gives me a fresh perspective. How did you come to think that way?" Don't give unsolicited advice. Unless she asks for guidance, avoid acting like a mentor. If you want to share your experience, frame it as a story, not a lesson. For example, "I remember feeling the same way about blank at your age. I ended up handling it by blank. How are you dealing with it?" Recognize different generational challenges.
She might be facing issues like social media pressures or generational insecurities you didn't experience. Listen with empathy. It sounds like social media can be an intense world. How do you handle all that pressure? Practical example. If she talks about a friend issue that seems minor to you, don't downplay it. Say, "Wow, that situation sounds like it really got to you. What happened next? How did it make you feel?" This shows you value her emotions, no matter how small the problem seems. Be aware of power dynamics. Why it matters. A significant age gap can create a perceived imbalance, especially if she feels you have more experience, financial stability, or authority. It's essential to ensure the relationship feels equal and that she's comfortable expressing herself freely. How to do it? Promote equality in conversations. Make sure both of you have space to speak and make decisions. For example, when planning a date, ask for her input. "I'd love to take you somewhere special, but what do you feel like doing? Something chill or more exciting?" Don't use your experience as leverage. Don't flaunt achievements, money, or stability to impress her, as it can create an uneven dynamic. Focus on emotional connection instead. I love how passionate you are about her interest. It inspires me to keep learning new things. Be sensitive to her autonomy. If she's much younger, she might be figuring out her identity or independence. Support her choices without over-influencing. It sounds like you have a solid plan for your studies. That's impressive. How did you decide on that path? Address potential insecurities. She might feel intimidated by your age or experience. Make her feel valued for who she is. "I enjoy spending time with you because you have such a unique way of seeing things. You make me think differently." Practical example. If deciding where to eat, don't impose your choice because you know better. Say, "I know a spot with amazing Italian food, but I'm open to your ideas too. Got a favorite place?" This empowers her and balances the dynamic. Adapt your communication to generational styles. Why it matters. Younger generations often have a different communication style, influenced by technology and the fast pace of social media. Adapting without losing your authenticity makes connection easier and prevents misunderstandings. How to do it. Learn her slang, but use it sparingly. If she uses generational terms or phrases, incorporate them naturally, but don't overdo it to avoid seeming forced. For example, if she says something's super cringe, respond with humor. "Okay, how cringe was it? Tell me." Use her preferred channels. If she likes WhatsApp, Instagram, or voice messages, go with that instead of pushing for long calls or emails. But share your preferences too. "I prefer talking in person or on calls to get to know you better. What do you think?" Be mindful of communication pace. Younger people often expect quick replies to texts. You don't have to respond instantly, but don't leave her hanging for days without a heads up. If busy, say, "Hey, I'm swamped today, but I'll hit you up tomorrow." Cool? Incorporate generational humor. If she shares memes or references, join in with humor. For example, "Okay, that meme cracked me up. Where do you find this stuff? You gotta show me." Practical example. If she sends a message with an emoji or meme, reply in a similar vibe. "Haha, that emoji says it all. How's your day going?" Then steer to something personal. "By the way, you mentioned planning something. How's that coming along?" Embrace differences as learning opportunities. Why it matters. Generational differences don't have to be barriers. They can enrich each other. Showing you're open to learning from her builds connection and demonstrates humility. How to do it. Show interest in her perspectives. Ask how she views the world, especially on tech, culture, or values. For example, "I'm curious about how your generation uses social media to express themselves. What do you like about sharing your life that way?" Be flexible with your views. If you differ on topics like politics, music, or lifestyle, listen openly. Say, "I hadn't thought of it that way. You're giving me a new angle. Tell me more." Share your world accessibly. Invite her into your interests without making her feel out of place. For example, if you like jazz, "I know jazz isn't for everyone, but there's a live music bar with a great vibe. Want to try something different with me?" Learn from her strengths.
Younger generations are often tech-savvy or open-minded in unique ways. Acknowledge it. You're killer at editing photos. Teach me a trick. Extra tips for respecting generational differences. Avoid stereotyping. Don't assume she fits a generational mold, like only caring about social media or being immature. Treat her as a unique individual. Be patient with misunderstandings. Generational gaps can lead to mix-ups in humor or values. If something doesn't land, clarify calmly. I think I missed what you meant. Can you explain? Balance your worlds. Don't dive fully into her youthful scene or expect her to adopt yours. Find a middle ground where you both feel comfortable. Reflect on the age difference. Before deepening the relationship, think about whether you're okay with potential differences in goals, life stages, or expectations. This helps you approach it with respect and clarity.
4. Be respectful and ethical. A. Respect her personal boundaries. Why it matters. Respecting boundaries is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Younger people may feel more vulnerable around someone older, so it's crucial to ensure they feel safe and comfortable at all times. Ignoring or pushing their boundaries can create distrust or discomfort. How to do it. Read her verbal and nonverbal cues. Pay attention to her body language and tone. If she seems uneasy, distant, or changes the subject, respect her space and don't push. For example, if she pulls back when you try to get closer physically, keep a respectful distance and continue the conversation naturally. Ask for explicit consent. Before moving forward in any aspect of the relationship, physical, emotional, or even plans, check in to make sure she's on board. For example, I'd love to take you out this weekend. Does that sound good to you? Or, are you okay with this? Don't pressure for quick answers. If you ask a personal question or suggest something, like a date, give her time to respond without pressing. For example, no rush, take your time to think about it and let me know what you're feeling. Respect her right to say no. If she sets a boundary, like not wanting to share something personal or not being ready for a date, accept it gracefully. Say, I get it. No worries. If you change your mind, I'm here. Practical example. On a date, if you want to hold her hand but notice she hesitates, don't push it. Instead, keep the vibe relaxed. Hey, I'm really enjoying this. Want to keep walking and tell me more about that trip you mentioned? This prioritizes her comfort. B. Be aware of laws and cultural norms. Why it matters. Age differences can involve legal considerations, especially if the other person is underage or in a life stage where consent laws apply. Cultural norms also vary by country or community, and it's your responsibility to stay informed to avoid ethically questionable situations. How to do it. Know local laws. Research the age of consent in your country or region. In many places, the age of consent is 18 for relationships with significantly older adults, and any romantic or physical interaction with someone younger can be illegal. For example, in many Latin American countries, the age of consent is 14 to 16, but there are additional restrictions for large age gaps. Always stay within legal boundaries. Consider cultural context. In some cultures, relationships with big age differences face skepticism or disapproval. Think about how this might affect her, especially if she faces social or family pressure. For example, if she's worried about what others think, say, I want you to feel comfortable with this. If you ever feel pressure from what others say, you can talk to me about it. Be transparent about your age. Don't hide your age or downplay the gap. Be upfront to avoid misunderstandings. For example, just so you know, I'm age. I'm enjoying getting to know you and want to make sure you're comfortable with everything. Avoid vulnerable situations. If she's very young, e.g. under 18, stick to public platonic interactions until she's of age and can make informed decisions. For example, if you're 30 and she's 17, keep things friendly and respectful. You're really interesting to talk to. What are your plans for the future? Practical example. If you're interested in someone who seems young, ask tactfully, by the way, what year are you in college? Or how old are you? Just curious to know more about you. If you find out she's underage, keep it non-romantic. You're super cool to chat with. What's next for you? C. Be clear about your intentions from the start.
Why it matters. Honesty about what you're looking for, a serious relationship, something casual, or just friendship, prevents misunderstandings and ensures you're both on the same page. This is especially important with an age gap, as expectations can differ based on life stages. How to do it. Communicate naturally. You don't need to make a grand declaration, but be honest when the moment feels right. For example, I'm really enjoying getting to know you. I'm not rushing anything, just taking it one step at a time. What do you think? Align expectations. If you sense she might want something different, e.g., a serious relationship while you're looking for something casual, address it tactfully. I want to be upfront. I'm enjoying getting to know you with no set plans yet. How do you feel about that? Avoid empty promises. Don't make commitments you can't keep just to hold her interest. For example, don't say, "We could travel together someday," unless you mean it. Respect her goals and life stage. If she's focused on studies, career, or personal growth, don't push her to prioritize the relationship. Support her. I admire how dedicated you are to your studies. How could I cheer you on with that? Practical example. After a couple of dates, you might say, "I'm having a great time getting to know you. I'm taking things slow to see where this goes. How do you feel about it?" This opens an honest conversation without pressure. D. Avoid manipulation or exploiting the age difference. Why it matters. An age gap can create a dynamic where the older person has more experience, resources, or stability, which could, intentionally or not, be used to influence the other person. An ethical relationship ensures both parties are there for genuine reasons, not pressure or imbalance. How to do it. Don't use your position to impress. Avoid flaunting financial stability, experience, or achievements to win her over. Instead of saying, "I can take you to amazing places because of my job," try, "I'd love to explore new places with you. What kind of adventures are you into?" Be mindful of her vulnerability. If she's in a transitional phase, e.g., starting college or looking for her first job, don't take advantage of her insecurities to gain affection. Instead, support her. Sounds like you're in an exciting time. How do you feel about all these changes? Encourage her independence. Cheer her on to make her own choices and pursue her goals. For example, it's awesome that you're working on her project. If you want to bounce ideas or talk it through, I'm here. Avoid creating dependency. Don't offer financial help or favors that could make her feel obligated to reciprocate. Keep the relationship emotionally equal. Practical example. If she mentions job hunting, don't offer to cover her expenses to impress her. Instead, say, "That's a big step. If you want, I can help you practice for an interview or look over your resume." This shows support without creating a power imbalance. E. Be sensitive to social perceptions. Why it matters. Age gap relationships can attract comments or judgment from friends, family, or society. Being ethical means considering how these perceptions might affect her and ensuring she feels supported, not exposed or judged. How to do it. Address external perceptions. If she seems worried about what others think, talk about it with empathy. I know people can have opinions about age differences. For me, it's about how we feel together. How do you see it? Protect her privacy. Don't share relationship details with others without her consent, especially on social media where she might feel exposed. For example, if you want to share a pic about a date, ask, "Is it cool if I share a pic of this awesome place we're at?" Support her against criticism. If she mentions her friends or family making comments, reassure her. What matters is that we're good with this. I've got your back if anyone makes you feel uneasy about the age gap. Be discreet in sensitive settings. If she's in an environment where the age gap might cause discomfort, like with her friends or family, act respectfully and professionally until she signals otherwise. For example, at an event with her friends, don't act possessive or make comments that highlight the age gap. Instead, blend in naturally. "Your friends seem like a fun crew. How'd you all meet?" This keeps her comfortable and respected in her social circle. Extra tips for being respectful and ethical. Reflect on your motivations. Ask yourself why you're interested in someone younger. If it's genuine admiration and compatibility, great. If it's about feeling young or purely physical attraction, rethink whether it's an ethical foundation for a relationship. Keep communication open. Create a space where she can share concerns or boundaries without fear of judgment. For example, if anything ever feels off, just let me know. I want you to always feel comfortable. Consider her life stage. Younger people are often in exploratory phases, studies, early relationships, finding their identity. Ensure the relationship doesn't hinder her personal growth. Consider perspective if unsure. If you're uncertain about your behavior, e.g., in a large age gap, talk to a trusted friend or professional for insight, always respecting her privacy.
5. Be fun and spontaneous. Plan interesting dates that break the routine. Why it matters? Unique and engaging dates create positive memories and show you're willing to step out of your comfort zone, which is often very appealing to someone younger. Spontaneous planning can make the experience feel fresh and exciting. How to do it? Choose interactive activities. Go for plans that spark conversation and laughter, like visiting an amusement park, taking a class together, painting, cooking, dancing, exploring a local market, or attending a cultural event like a festival or concert. For example, I heard there's a food truck festival this weekend with some killer bites. Want to check it out with me? Add a touch of adventure. Suggest something slightly offbeat but low effort. For example, how about a short hike to that lookout with an awesome view? We can bring some snacks. Tailor plans to her interests. If you know she's into something specific, like indie music, board games, or Asian food, customize the date. For example, I know you're a ramen fan. Want to hunt down the best ramen spot in town together? Be flexible with plans. Spontaneity means being open to switching things up if a better idea comes along. For example, if you're walking and spot an interesting place, say, "Whoa, that spot looks cool. Shall we pop in and see what's up?" Practical example. When planning an outing, you could say, "I was thinking we could try painting pottery. It sounds fun and we'd make something together. What do you think? Or do you have another idea?" If she suggests something else, respond enthusiastically. "Love your idea. Let's do that." Show an authentic and approachable sense of humor. Why it matters? Humor is a powerful tool to connect, ease tension, and make her feel at ease. Younger people often appreciate light, playful, or even self-deprecating humor, but it needs to feel natural, not forced. How to do it? Laugh at yourself confidently. Use self-deprecating humor to show you don't take yourself too seriously. For example, "All right, I tried a TikTok dance once and it was an epic fail. How do you hold up with that stuff?" Use situational humor. Notice your surroundings and make fun comments about what's happening. Like, if the barista makes a weird design in your coffee, say, "Check this out. Is this latte art a heart or an alien?" Avoid jokes that highlight the age gap negatively. Instead of saying, "I'm too old to get that," try, "Okay, I need a crash course on your generation because I'm lost with that meme. Break it down for me." Match her humor style. If she's into sarcastic, playful, or meme-based humor, join in subtly. For example, if she shares a meme, reply, "Haha, that meme's gold. Where do you find these? I've got one that might make you laugh." Keep humor respectful. Avoid offensive, crude, or easily misinterpreted jokes, especially early on, to keep her comfortable. Practical example. If there's a lull in conversation on a date, break the ice with humor. "Okay, this silence is way too serious. Who's winning a staring contest? You or me? Let's go." This invites a playful moment and keeps things light. Don't take yourself too seriously. Why it matters? The age gap might make you feel pressure to seem mature or serious, but being relaxed and ready to have fun shows you can vibe with her youthful energy without losing your essence. This also helps her feel comfortable being herself. How to do it? Own your flaws gracefully. If you mess up, like mispronouncing a band's name or tripping, laugh it off. For example, "Well, looks like my feet have a mind of their own today. Give me a redo to seem cool." Be playful at the right moment. Toss in spontaneous games or challenges. For example, in the park, say, "I bet you can't beat me in a race to that tree. Want to try it?"
Handle the age gap with light humor. If age comes up, address it naturally. All right, I might have a few extra years, but that just means more crazy stories to share. What's your wildest one? Don't try to act young forcefully. You don't need to act like a teenager to be fun. Your experience and maturity can be attractive when paired with a laid-back, open attitude. For example, at an event, if she mentions something you don't know, smile and say, "Okay, I'm feeling like a grandpa trying to keep up with your world, but clue me in. What makes that so cool?" This shows humility and a willingness to have fun. Be spontaneous with small gestures. Why it matters? Spontaneity doesn't always mean big plans. Small, unexpected gestures can make her feel special and keep things fresh. This is especially effective in countering any perception that an older person might be boring or predictable. How to do it? Surprise her with little details. If you know she likes a certain candy, bring her some out of the blue. Like, "I passed by a store and saw those chocolates you love, so here you go." Suggest last-minute plans. If it's a nice day, text her. "Hey, it's gorgeous out. Want to grab ice cream in the park in an hour?" This shows you're up for adventure. Match her energy. If she's in a playful mood, lean into it. For example, if she sends a funny emoji, reply with one and say, "Okay, that emoji deserves a standing ovation. What else you got?" Get creative with conversations. Throw in some unexpected or fun questions. For example, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? I picked teleportation. Beach vibes in seconds. Practical example. Walking through town and passing a food stand, say, "Okay, adventure time. Let's try something totally random from this menu. You in?" Then laugh together whether the food is weird or awesome, creating a shared moment. Create a relaxed and positive vibe. Why it matters? Spontaneity and fun thrive in an environment where you both feel free to be yourselves. As someone older, your maturity can help create a safe space where she can relax and enjoy without worries. How to do it? Stay positive. Focus on the bright side, even if things don't go as planned. For example, if it rains during an outdoor date, say, "Looks like nature's got other plans. Let's find a cozy cafe instead." Don't be overly controlling. Spontaneity needs flexibility. Don't stick to a rigid plan. Let the moment guide you. For example, "I was thinking we'd hit this restaurant, but if you're feeling something else, I'm all ears." Encourage her spontaneity. Invite her to suggest ideas or take the lead. For example, "You pick the next plan. Surprise me with something you love doing." Be a fun partner. Show you can enjoy the moment as much as she does, whether it's dancing at a concert, trying something new, or just laughing together. Practical example. At an event with music, invite her to dance with a playful twist. "I'm not promising to rule the dance floor, but want to give it a spin with me and see how bad we are?" This sets a fun, lighthearted tone. Extra tips for being fun and spontaneous. Balance fun with maturity. Your ability to be fun while staying calm and responsible is attractive. For example, during a spontaneous plan, ensure things are safe and comfortable, like having a backup plan if something goes wrong. Don't force the fun. If you're not naturally outgoing, don't try to be the life of the party. Spontaneity can be subtle, like a witty comment or a small gesture. Tailor fun to her personality. If she's reserved, go for calm but creative activities like an art workshop. If she's outgoing, pick lively plans like a concert or a social event. Keep energy high but authentic. Don't mimic youthful energy if it's not you. Bring your own flavor of fun, like sharing exciting stories or suggesting unique plans.
6. Work on your personal growth. Be an interesting and multidimensional person. Why it matters. Someone committed to their own development has more to offer in a relationship, from great conversation topics to a rich, varied perspective. This is especially appealing to a younger person, as it shows you have an active life and aren't looking to fill a void through the relationship. How to do it. Pursue your passions. Figure out what fires you up, a hobby, project, or cause, and invest time in it. For example, if you're into photography, take a course or share your shots on social media. It gives you cool stories to share, like, Last weekend, I tried a new photography technique. It was a fun challenge. Do you have any hobbies that get you out of your routine? Expand your horizons. Learn something new to bring into chats, like a language, playing an instrument, or cooking an exotic dish. For example, I'm trying to pick up some Italian, though my accent's a mess. Have you ever tackled something totally new? Keep a vibrant social life. Surround yourself with inspiring friends, colleagues, or communities. It makes you more intriguing and shows balance. For example, if you're in a cycling club, share. I went out with my cycling group on Sunday. It was quite the adventure. Do you enjoy outdoor stuff? Share achievements humbly. Talk about your projects in a way that invites conversation, not bragging. For example, I just finished a writing course and it was super rewarding. Got any personal projects you're excited about? Practical example. On a date, when it's your turn to share, say, lately I've been diving into Asian cooking, and let's just say my pad thai is a work in progress. Do you cook, or do you have some hidden talent I should know about? This highlights your growth and opens the door for her to share. Maintain an open mind and willingness to learn. Why it matters. An open mindset lets you connect with someone younger by valuing their views and showing you're eager to learn from them. It makes you more adaptable and appealing, demonstrating humility and curiosity that balance out the age gap. How to do it? Listen to her ideas without bias. If she shares a different take on tech, culture, or values, don't dismiss it as youthful. Say, I hadn't thought of it that way. It's really interesting. How did you come to that conclusion? Try new things inspired by her. If she mentions an unfamiliar interest like a music genre or activity, show willingness to explore. For example, I haven't listened to much reggaeton, but since you're into it, I'll give it a shot. What song should I start with? Be open to constructive feedback. If she points something out, like you seeming too serious, take it with humor and a growth vibe. Like, I can get too serious sometimes. Any tips on how to loosen up? Learn from her generation. Younger folks are often deep into cultural or tech trends. Ask her about them. Like, I see you use app or social media a lot. What's cool about it? Show me something I don't know. Practical example. If she raves about a video game, say, I'll admit I'm not much of a gamer, but I'm curious why you love it so much. Give me a quick rundown on what makes it addictive. Then share yours. I'm more into adventure books, but I'm open to trying something new if you convince me. Take care of your physical and mental health. Why it matters. Looking after your physical and mental well-being makes you feel good about yourself and radiates positive, attractive energy. Younger people often admire someone who takes care of themselves and has vitality, helping bridge the generational gap. How to do it? Stick to an exercise routine. You don't need to be an athlete. Walking, yoga, gym, or casual sports keep you fit and energized. For example, invite her to something active. I love walks to clear my head. Want to join me for one this weekend? Prioritize mental health. Build habits like meditation, journaling, or therapy if needed. It keeps you emotionally steady. For example, if she mentions stress, say, I know that feeling. Taking a breather and listening to music helps me. What do you do to unwind? Focus on nutrition and rest. Good eating and sleep boost your mood and looks, showing in your confidence and vibe around her. Project vitality. Show enthusiasm for life. For example, I've been trying yoga lately, and even though I'm not the most flexible, it gives me more energy. Got any routines that lift your spirits? Practical example. On a date, suggest something fun and active. How about we rent bikes and explore the city? It's a chill way to get around and chat. This shows you're taking care of yourself and open to active experiences. Pursue personal and professional goals. Why it matters. Clear goals show ambition and purpose, which is attractive and positions you as a positive role model. For a younger person figuring out their path, it can be inspiring. How to do it? Set clear objectives. Whether advancing your career, learning a skill, or tackling a personal project, define your aims. For example, I'm working on boosting my skills in area, and it's challenging but exciting. Got any big goals on your horizon? Share progress enthusiastically in a conversational way, not boastfully. For example, I just finished a course that kept me busy. It was tough but worth it. How are your projects going? Support her goals. Show interest in her ambitions and offer backing. For example, you mentioned working on her goal. That sounds awesome. How can I cheer you on? Keep balance. Don't let your goals overshadow talks or the relationship. Make space for her interests and dreams. Practical example. If she's prepping for an exam, say, "That sounds intense. I admire your focus. I'm pushing toward your goal myself, and I get stressed too. Any tricks for staying on track?" Cultivate a continuous growth mindset. Why it matters. A growth mindset, believing you can always improve, makes you adaptable, resilient, and appealing. It helps connect with a younger person by showing that despite your experience, you're open to evolving and not feeling stuck. How to do it? See challenges as opportunities. If something doesn't go as planned in the relationship or in life, approach it optimistically, like after a date hiccup. "Well, that didn't go as expected, but it was fun trying. What can we tweak next time for a better adventure?" Seek and act on feedback. If she suggests something like being more spontaneous, use it to grow. Like, "Thanks for the tip. I'll try loosening up." Any advice on unleashing my adventurous side? Read and learn constantly. Stay informed on diverse topics, culture, tech, current events for richer chats. For example, after a book or doc, I watched this mind-blowing doc on topic. Seen anything that blew your mind lately? Be humble about limitations. Own what you don't know and show eagerness to learn. For example, "I'm not up to speed on the apps you use, but I'd love for you to show me something new." Extra tips for working on personal growth? Balance growth with enjoyment. Don't get so focused on self-improvement that you forget to live in the moment. The relationship should be joyful, not just a self-help project. Inspire without imposing. Share your growth to motivate her, but don't make her feel like she needs to match you. For example, "I love how dedicated you are to her interests. It inspires me to keep at my own projects." Be consistent. Personal growth is ongoing. Carve out regular time for goals, hobbies, and well-being to build real confidence and attitude. Tailor growth to the relationship. If she values traits like spontaneity or empathy, work on them to strengthen the bond without losing who you are.
7. Be patient and don't rush. Take your time to build a solid connection. Why it matters. Meaningful relationships don't form overnight. Patience allows you to truly get to know her interests and values, fostering trust. This is especially important with an age gap, as she may need time to feel comfortable with the dynamic. How to do it? Avoid rushing the relationship. Don't push to define the relationship, move physically, or commit too soon. Instead of asking, "Will you be my girlfriend?" after a couple of dates, say, "I'm really enjoying getting to know you, and I'm happy taking things step by step. How do you feel?" Give her space to process. Younger people may be exploring their identity or priorities, so respect her pace. If she needs time to reply to a message or decide on a date, don't press. Say, "No pressure, take your time, and let me know whenever you're ready." Build a foundation of trust. Invest in deep conversations and shared activities to strengthen the bond. For example, "I loved our chat today. Want to keep getting to know each other? Maybe next time we could try activity." Be consistent but not overwhelming.
Stay in touch regularly, texts, dates, without bombarding her. For example, send a message every few days. Hey, I was thinking about our talk the other day. How's your week going? Practical example? After a couple of dates, if she seems to be taking things slowly, say, I'm having a great time with you and I'm cool with going at your pace. How about something chill next weekend? This shows patience and respect for her space. Accept rejection with grace and maturity. Why it matters. Not everyone will be interested, and rejection is a natural part of dating. Handling it maturely shows self-confidence and respect for her choices, especially important if she's younger and might feel nervous about saying no to someone older. How to do it? Don't take it personally. Rejection can stem from many factors: lack of compatibility, different goals, timing. Accept it's not always about you. If she says she's not interested, respond, "Thanks for being honest. I really appreciate that. Wishing you the best." Don't push or question her decision. Avoid asking, "Why not?" or trying to change her mind. Instead, stay positive. "I get it. No worries. It was great meeting you, and if you ever want to chat as friends, I'm around." Move forward confidently. See rejection as a chance to grow. Reflect on what you learned and focus on new connections. Tell yourself, all right, it didn't work out, but I learned something about what I'm looking for. Stay cordial. If you see her later, example in a shared social circle, be kind and respectful without holding a grudge. This shows maturity and boosts your appeal long term. Practical example, if she says she doesn't want to keep dating, reply, "Thanks for letting me know. I respect your honesty. It was cool getting to know you, and I wish you all the best." Then move on without dwelling or showing frustration. Avoid acting out of desperation or insecurity. Why it matters. Desperation, like constant texting, seeking validation, or pushing to move forward, can push her away and make you seem insecure. Patience reflects confidence in yourself and the natural flow of the relationship. How to do it? Control impulses. If you're tempted to text multiple times or ask for another date right after one, pause and assess. Instead of sending 3 texts, write one clear message and wait. "Hey, I had a blast the other day. Up for doing it again soon?" Focus on your own life. Stay engaged with hobbies, friends, and goals so you don't rely on the relationship for emotional fulfillment. If waiting for her reply, dive into a personal project or hang out with friends. Don't compare yourself to others. If she mentions someone her age or seems interested elsewhere, don't feel inferior due to the age gap. Lean into your strengths. "I love your fresh vibe, and I bring my own perspective. Want to try something fun together?" Handle insecurities privately. If you worry the age difference is an issue, reflect alone or with a trusted friend, not with her, to avoid projecting insecurity. Practical example? If she hasn't replied to a message in a couple of days, don't send another demanding a response. Wait a bit, then send something light. "Hey, hope you're having a great week. I was thinking about our talk on topic. Any updates?" This shows interest without desperation. Be understanding of her life stage. Why it matters. Younger people are often in exploratory phases, studies, early jobs, or personal discovery. Being patient means respecting that her priorities may differ, or that she needs time to figure out what she wants in a relationship. How to do it? Acknowledge her priorities. If she's focused on school or career, support her instead of pushing for more time. For example, "I know you're swamped with exams, and that's awesome dedication. When you've got a breather afterwards, let's plan something chill, no pressure." Adjust your expectations. Don't expect her to be ready for serious commitments if she's in an experimental phase. Ask, "I'm enjoying getting to know you and want to know how you see things. Are you an exploring vibe or looking for something more defined?" Be flexible with her schedule. Younger people may have unpredictable schedules. If she cancels or reschedules, respond kindly. "No biggie. I know you've got a lot going on. Let me know when you're free and we'll make it work." Support her growth. Encourage her to chase her goals even if it means less time together initially. For example, "It's amazing you're working on her project. If you need a cheerleader, I'm your guy." Practical example. If she's stressed about a school project, say, "That sounds intense, but I know you'll crush it. If you need a break afterwards, let me know and we can do something relaxing, no pressure." Trust the process and stay positive. Why it matters. Patience isn't just about waiting. It's about keeping an optimistic, confident mindset that things will unfold in time. This makes you more attractive as it projects calm and assurance, qualities that balance the age gap. How to do it? Enjoy the present. Focus on savoring the moments you share instead of worrying about the relationship's future. For example, I had such a great time with you today. Thanks for that. Can't wait for our next hangout. Embrace uncertainty. Early relationships are unpredictable. Trust that if there's compatibility, things will flow naturally. If unsure about her feelings, say, "I'm enjoying getting to know you and seeing where this goes. What do you think?" Celebrate small wins. Appreciate moments of connection, like a great chat or shared laugh, instead of focusing only on progressing the relationship. For example, our topic was so fun. It's got me thinking. Keep a long-term perspective. Remind yourself that strong relationships take time, and early patience can lead to something deeper. If things move slowly, think, "This is going well. It just needs time to grow." Extra tips for staying patient and avoiding desperation. Practice self-reflection. If you feel anxious or impatient, pause to explore why. Insecurity or high expectations. Work on those feelings privately to avoid projecting them. Live a full life. Stay active with hobbies, friends, and personal goals to avoid emotional dependence on the relationship. This keeps you grounded and calm. Communicate needs clearly. If you need more clarity about the relationship, express it calmly. "I'm enjoying how things are going, but I'd love to know how you're feeling when you're ready to share." Respect generational differences. Younger people may have a different pace for relationships due to their life stage or culture. Don't take it as a lack of interest, give it time.